Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Someone That's No One here today, and today, you already seen the title. You know what we here for. Today, we are here for part 2 of Marcel's party. So, Marcel's party, yeah, it was a good time. Where we left off, let's just jump straight into it. Where we left off, we were going to go pick up Michael, me and Tyler, keep that in mind, and we were planning to go pick up Michael and Evelyn at this point, and we couldn't find fucking Michael's place like fucking idiots. So that's where we were last time. So let's start off from there. Basically, we ended up, ending up having to text Michael, which made us feel stupid because we were only like 3 blocks from his house and we were just driving around like idiots and stuff. But we pick Michael up and then head over to get Evelyn. Now Evelyn's house was a little bit of a drive, but eventually we make it there and it's kind of fucked. Like, for some reason, by her crib, there was a gas station with a bunch of police doing I have no idea what to this day. But, of course, I had to keep that alcohol low, make sure these clowns don't find out. But we were good. Evelyn came in, and, of course, I tried to hand her drink with the Gatorade and shit. And she didn't take it just because, she's a good girl at this point. And I don't know how that is anymore, but we drive back, and Stan hits me up too, and he was coming back at the same time as us. And remember, Stan's one of my other friends who I met early in the party. That's in part 1. But Stan is over 21 now, and we were gonna need some more alcohol. So of course we had to ask Stan, if he can hook us up. We would pay him, of course, and he was down with it. So first we get back to Marcel's crib. And this joint's actually more packed now. I'm guessing there's like 20 or 30 people, like, peers and shit, people our age and shit, not just his family at this point. And it was a hoot, let me tell you. Now, there was a lot of people I know, and a lot of them I talked to, but I'm not going to be in this bitch talking about every little thing we did, every naming a person and all that, it's just doing too goddamn much. But, I think I shake up with, a few people here and there. But Stan just comes over, hops in the front, and we're all cooling in the car. And we tell Marcel, we'll be back. We got to go to the liquor store, which wasn't even like 5 minutes away. When we get there, both Tyler and Stan went inside the store, and it went pretty smoothly. I had no idea what they were getting, but when they came back, though, they got this gallon of vodka, which was 70%. Normally, I am a guy who does prefer, the high quality stuff, like, some Henny or whatever, but I wasn't about to complain. Plus, I know, we were going to get drunk as fuck from this stuff. It being 70%, there's a lot of it. I wasn't really complaining, type shit, we're just going to get more fucked up. It's a gallon. It's a fucking gallon, man. So, of course, we were hyped up about it, and we drove back to the party. We loaded up on some more Gatorade bottles with the vodka. The nice blue Gatorade covered up the cover. And, of course, me, we had to make sure that our drink was burning going down, and I made sure that shit was burning going down. And I'll say right now that I got really fucking drunk. We go back to the party, and everyone's kind of, at the front at this point of his house and shit. And I guess some people actually wanted to hoop and shit. Now, let me tell you that Marcel had a shit basketball hoop. Both basketball and basketball hoop, to be honest. Like, the rim was hard as fuck, and it didn't even bend a tiny bit. The backboard was flimsy and coming off. It was just used up as fuck. But people were still down, and of course, me and Tyler, we're always down for the hoops. And even if we were pretty drunk, we still wanted the hoops. We still want the hoops. And at first, I was pretty ass, but, of course, I began to fall into that rhythm, of course. Now, one of my friends came up to me, and he was like, "You're drunk as shit, aren't you?" Like, he just saw it on my face, I bet, just by the way I was acting. I know I was acting like a complete buffoon during this party, just saying the most retarded shit. But I guess we'll call this friend Vance. I don't fucking know, honestly, but Vance, okay. But anyways, I try to hide it, and I say nah, but I didn't even notice, and he passed me the basketball, and before I could even react, it just smacks me, like, straight on the chest, like, hard as fuck. And the thing is, I don't even react to this shit. Like, I noticed the ball hit me and shit hard as hell, but I didn't give a fuck because I was just so intoxicated at the time. And Vance was like, that's how I know you're fucking drunk as fuck. That shit didn't even hurt, huh? And pretty much everyone there knew, like, what was up, and, you know, with me and the crew and shit. And we were, you know, we were all feeling straight, like, pretty drunk about it. But I do have to say, I met a very good bro today at this party. And we'll call this bro Leo. Okay, Leo. Now, I just met him because I was joking around with everyone, talking all this nonsense I don't even remember about, to be honest. But I know that everyone was laughing at the shit I was saying to them. I know I was saying the dumbest shit of all time, but I met Leo through this way. And he asked, you know, if I had any more alcohol, and I said, you know, of course, man, of course. And he was like, you know, we should drink a lot tonight. And I was like, yeah, bro, we should, but, you know, we got to keep our minds about his mom, Marcel's mom, and, you know, his family and shit. And, you know, I was kind of wondering, maybe he has somewhere else to kick it, or, you know, maybe we can go somewhere else, you know, if we want to really, you know, tee up type shit. Now, there was this abandoned house across Marcel's street, and I knew it as long as I knew Marcel, to be honest. Like, it was always abandoned, and I never seen anyone ever live there, to be honest. And I've known this dude for the longest time, to be honest. Now, I have no idea where this idea sprouted from, but I know eventually we were all talking about this empty house across the street and how maybe, you know, if we move there, you know, we could all drink there when it got dark and shit. But the problem was, this house was actually locked. But Leo said, fuck that. This man just walked up to the door, kicked it open with one go. So we were in this bitch. The neighbors weren't even fucking around. The house was okay. No, there was no lighting, which was a problem, but there was definitely enough room and shit. It wasn't a huge house, just this kind of small one-story crib. Now, originally the plan was to drink there at nighttime, but I have no clue what the hell happened to that plan because we never did. But anyways, let's move on. So I know we hooped for a bit, and I was putting in some work, man, drunk as hell too, but let's not talk about that too much. I don't exactly remember what happened in which order, but I'll try to explain the rest of the day and the night. I kept drinking out of my Gatorade and vodka mix, which made me fucking hype, to be honest, because the more burn you get, it's just like the more drunk you get, the more stupid you get, and I wasn't literally thinking about, you know, too much at the time. I was just kind of talking and hooping about shit, just acting in the moment. But there was this other girl I met at this party. We'll call this girl Nora. Now, Nora, she's a nice girl, kind of dirty, but I found that out later, but, you know, a nice girl. And I don't know exactly who started this conversation first. It was just probably me again. I don't really know, but eventually there was a point to where I was talking to Nora. Now, why is this so important? Now, remember Evelyn. Evelyn, she was trying to get with me, and I'm over here talking to this other girl 10 meters away. There's a reason, you know, I ended up talking to Nora instead of Evelyn, and that's simply because, you know, Evelyn's kind of a bitch. I don't think really she really recognizes that, but I remember trying to talk to her, but I just don't think she took me seriously at all because I was pretty messed up, but that's why I went to go talk to Nora. Plus, Evelyn was just not the girl I wanted anyways, to be honest. She was going to get the message some way, so, but it was kind of a mistake to do it today. So, honestly, I didn't even think, you know, much about Evelyn in that moment because I was just talking to Nora, you know, and Evelyn ended up getting super pissed. And I didn't find out till way later into the night. And we talked, and eventually, you know, more people end up coming. I know Armando comes, Jordan, Nick, just to name a few people from the previous stories that do show up. And, you know, we decided to all go swimming, you know, which sounded fun as fuck, of course. And I was already drunk as hell, so jumping in a big-ass pool, you know, sounded like a good-ass time. And I remember when Armando came, and we shook up. I was talking to him for a while when we went swimming. Now, if you guys don't know, jumping off a diving board when you're intoxicated is one of the best feelings ever, at least in my opinion. And I've done it, you know, with alcohol, weed, DXM, but let's focus on this night. And tonight, you know, that was alcohol. I was doing all these fucking flips off the thing and just being in the moment, being in the air, feeling, you know, drunk as hell, you know, soaring, entering the water. It's a great time. It's definitely one of the in-the-moment experiences. But anyways, we swim for a while. I drink some more. I'm pretty sure we eat and shit. Me and talk to some of the homies, Michael, Jordan, Marcel, all of everyone really. But I noticed Tyler had been gone for a minute. I haven't seen him for a while at this point. It had been a few hours or so. And it turns out he had to give a ride home to Evelyn because, well, she didn't want to be there for obvious reasons. I talked to Nora on multiple occasions at this point during the day, like 3 or 4 times. And the thing is, the rest of that gallon of alcohol that we got was in Tyler's car. I know Marcel definitely wanted some at this point because it was nearing dark soon. You know, his family had left, and you know, mostly just like his mom and stuff was around, but not really around because there were so many people. So like she wouldn't even fucking know, to be honest. But Tyler left, so we had to wait, and it took at least half an hour or so, you know, some bullshit, until he finally came back. And guess what? In her frustration, Evelyn decided to pour out the rest of the alcohol. Like, what the fuck? I was pretty fucking pissed because by this point, you know, I was betting on, you know, getting drunk with the boys now, you know, with Marcel, you know, let's you know, live it up, you know, but she fucked it up. And she didn't have to do all that. Plus, you know, she did Michael dirty too because, you know, he put his money into that and he didn't even do shit wrong. But that was really just a big letdown for the night, to be honest. But the party went on. I was still drunk as fuck. I didn't even kill the rest of the Gatorade bottle I had, and I remember still drinking a lot of that. One of the other things that I'd like to point out from that day is that when me and Tyler were playing basketball, there were some guys, I know exactly who it was as well, because everyone was just, you know, hype as fucking shit at the time. We'll call this dude Jake. Alright, so Jake has this very fast car. I don't remember exactly what car he had at the time. He went through a shit ton of cars, but some dudes hopped on top of his car, and we were driving that bitch around the neighborhood while people were on top of it, you know, speeding down the street. Now, me and Tyler saw this, and Michael, so all three of us saw this, and we were like, wow, that looks, you know, fun as hell. Let's do that. So one of the things that we did was we got on top of Tyler's car, and yeah, we were, me and Michael on top, soaring across the neighborhood on top, his Charger, and, you know, that was pretty fun, too. We threw a bonfire, and, you know, that shit was pretty nice, cozy and shit, you know, we all talk, hang out, you know, casual stuff, and time went on, it grew into the night, and when I'm drunk as fuck, I don't like parties to end. I want them to be non-stop until I pass out type of shit. I'm like, let's fucking go. But alcohol, it just, at least at this point in time, and now it's a little different, but it just got me more up, as I've explained before. So yeah, I tended to be more wild, just kind of the drunker I got. And Tyler was my ride home, and I remember he needed to get back, and I didn't want to leave yet. So because of this fact, I was very reluctant to go home. I just wanted to keep turning up. So I remember a bunch of the homies were telling me, you know, it's time to go, it's late as hell, and they knew I was drunk as fuck, but I wasn't having it, I guess. It was basically getting to the point where I was running off into a different direction of the party, just attempting to avoid certain people and shit. Like Nick, Tyler, Armando, they were all trying to fucking grab me at one point. And because I was just fucking busting at this point. And I remember literally jumping out of the arms of Nick as he tried to grab me. And like after like 5 minutes of this nonsense, they were like, fuck it. And you know, I'm only a 5-minute ride home or walk even. 10-minute walk even. Probably 3-minute drive from Marcel's crib. So I didn't really give a fuck if I had a ride or not. And I ended up staying like maybe another hour or two, and now, you know, I was talking to the girls and all that bullshit, and the party, you know, it was beginning to chill out, I think around midnight or something, and I was still pretty dumb drunk, and it was like midnight. Marcel gave me a ride home, and I'm pretty sure I said some very retarded shit during all this, and without a doubt, but he dropped me off. I got inside, pretty much knocked out right away. And yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. It was a good time, you know. Even though, you know, Evelyn tried to screw some shit up, we could have got more drunk and shit. Who knows? Get some alcohol poisoning or some bullshit. I don't know. But yeah, fuck alcohol poisoning. But it was a good night, good time, good time seeing all the homies and shit at this party and shit at Marcel's graduation party. It was a fun time and shit. So hope you guys enjoyed that story. Definitely got a lot more on the way. And yeah, thank you all for the support. Subscribe if you like the stories. Like the video if you like the video. And yeah, it's been someone that's going, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.